Hey, it's good to see you. I have this set up right now because I just recorded the opening and closing segments for a walkthrough that I hope to do today in Spirit Halloween. I hope, but I don't know. It kind of depends on how my afternoon goes. I want to do I want to record something else before I go. I just got a bunch of new Trapper Keepers because I'm ridiculous. I was shopping around on Walmart, the online, like Walmart.com the other night, and I found that they had a bunch of Trapper Keepers on there that I didn't see in the store. So I ordered one of each because I'm ridiculous. I think I have 4. I have 4 more. Oh my God. I'm going to donate them to the school just like the others after I do the video. But I'm going to do a video just like I did with the other ones, showing them and then like tracing them and stuff. I got my hair done. I just came from getting my hair done. I was going to make a video in the car, but I ended up being there longer than I normally. I was there longer because she kind of had to get a late start with me. She was running behind this morning. So I ended up being there a lot longer. And by the time I got home, by the time I got out of there, I was starving and like I just wanted to get home. Like I just want to go home so I can eat something because I'm starving. So I didn't stop to make a video to show you my hair. Plus my makeup got really jacked up. Like all the foundation, basically, this part of my foundation was okay. All this foundation was gone. Like sometimes my face gets really wet when she's rinsing my hair. And it got really wet, so my foundation was all messy. And I'm like, let me just go home. I don't feel good. I'm hungry. I look weird. Fan just kicked up. I don't give a shit because this is not my regular channel. It was loud. Whee! Calm down now. Settle down, Beavis. What was I going to tell you? Oh, I wanted to talk about starting a new job. Somebody mentioned this in a comment the other day, and I thought that's a good video. You know, I was talking about if you're moving to the South. You know, some things you might want to know if you're moving to the South. And somebody said, you know, some of this stuff applies too if you're starting a new job. Like, you know, don't constantly talk about how it was at your old job. And I thought that's a very good point. So I thought I would talk just a little bit about starting a new job. Because to me, starting a new job, it's like a radical change in your life for me. Every time I've taken a new job, it just kind of changes everything about my life. At least for a little bit. You have a lot of things to get used to. A lot of stuff's going to be different. Even if, like, say you work for a company in this one location, and even if you just go from one location to another, it can be very different. Even if you're doing the same kind of work, it's going to be a different environment. It's going to be a different mix of people. They may have different policies and procedures and just ways of doing stuff. Even just everyday stuff can be different. So I thought I would talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to record. I've mentioned this before. Whenever I get my hair done, I try to get my money's worth out of it. Because if, you know, you get your color done and you get it cut and you get a blowout, it's expensive. And I want to be able to just get my money's worth out of it. So I try to do at least several videos that show my hair. Although I've noticed people don't comment on it as much. I guess they're getting burnt out on it. Like, I don't want to talk about this bitch's hair anymore. I don't know. But I still try to get my money's worth out of it. Plus Saturday I have to go somewhere and it's probably going to get messed up. So I really only have like today and tomorrow to get as much video as I can with my hair. So I'm recording the part with the Trapper Keepers of me showing the Trapper Keepers like up here. And then we're going to have the part where we trace the stuff and look at it down here. I can record that later. I can look like a salty sea hag when I record that because you're not going to see my face anyway. I will probably do it soon though, so my nail color will be the same. I love this color. I love this. This is ASAP Apple from Sally Hansen Insta-Dry. Love that shade of red. It's so pretty. But yes, starting a new job. And starting a new job, I think, is stressful no matter how old you are, no matter what the circumstances are. Even if it's a good change, it can be stressful. And for me, when I get stressed out, sometimes I talk too much when I'm really stressed. I come on too strong. I try too hard. I'm just a little bit overzealous, you know. And it can affect it affects my work. It really does until I kind of calm down a little bit and I can just kind of, you know, just like Settle down. It's okay. You do not have to impress everyone. You do not have to do everything. Just calm down. But yeah, like somebody said, when you start a new job, an important thing to remember is to not constantly tell everyone how it was where you used to work. Because I promise you, the people at your new place of employment, they don't give a shit how it was where you used to work. It's like looking at other people's vacation pictures. I mean, we will humor you for a bit, but then it's like, okay, come on. Okay, all right, that's cool. All right, okay. Nobody wants to be exposed to that. Not for long, anyway. I theoretically used to work with somebody who may or may not have been my supervisor, and this person had been with the company for a long time. And if you'd been with the company for a long time, you got tons of vacation time every year, like almost 2 months of vacation a year. And this person took these elaborate, expensive trips with their spouse, and then they would come back and they would have they would put together a PowerPoint slideshow of all the pictures of their vacation, and they would go all over the world, just these really expensive vacations that I couldn't even dream of. And they would take 2 or 3 of these trips a year, because like I say, this person got like 2 months vacation a year total. So week here, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks, all year long. And then they would come back and put together this PowerPoint slideshow and make us all watch it. And it was really awkward, like, okay, but I mean, I realize I'm getting paid to sit here, but isn't there some like work type shit I could do? I mean, really, I'll do anything. I'll do filing, I'll whatever. Please don't subject me to this, because the slideshow would go on for like an hour. Like, oh dear God. Anyway, yeah. Whoa. And there was a lot of humble bragging that would go on during these presentations as they narrated the slides, and it was really just more of like a show off session of like, look how much I can afford to spend on my many trips every year. It's like, can I just go? Can I just go like jump out the window? Just please stop, Lord. But anyway, yes, nobody cares how you used to do it where you used to work. I used to work for this company, and at one point we had a whole group come in from a completely different company. We'll say the company I work for is ABC, and they came in from XYZ. This whole group, there were like 5 people who came into ABC from XYZ. And I'm not quite sure why they came over. It was never really explained how they all managed to end up working at my company. But these people came in with this massive chip on their shoulder, and they walked in like they owned the place. And they came in and immediately started trying to change the way we did everything. Like, you're on the same level with the rest of us. You are not management. You are not in charge. You do not own this place. These are people like on my level. Like, even down to like the coffee in the break room. And they were constantly, all 5 of them were constantly saying, well, at XYZ, what we used to do, and it was way better than this. We used to do such and such and so and so. So I really think it would be beneficial if you would just start doing it the way we used to do it at XYZ, because it was clearly better than the stupid way you do it. At XYZ, we used to do this. At XYZ, we used to do that. I'm like, well, then why the hell are you here at ABC then? It sounds like at XYZ it was freaking awesome. Maybe I should go get a job there. Because, especially if you're not in charge and you are not hired to change anything, if you were hired to do a job, just do your job. Your coworkers don't care how you used to do things. You are now in a position where you're not going to do those things anymore. You might have done this and that, and maybe it was wonderful, and you may have a good point. Maybe that way is better. But maybe, just maybe, if you zip it for 5 minutes and look around, you may find that there's a reason why they do it differently at this new place. There may actually be a good reason for it. There usually is. Not always, but there usually is a reason for why they do it differently than the way you did it. And that's one thing about people in general. And that's something that has astonished me making videos, is how many there's an astonishing number of people who don't understand. We all live different lives. We all have different circumstances. We live in different environments. We have different challenges. We have different experiences and things to deal with and things to do. So there may be a thing that you do, and they also do the thing in other places, but they do it in a different way. It amazes me how many people look at that and go, "You're doing it wrong. Why do you do it like that? That's dumb. You're doing it wrong. Why don't you do it the way I do it?" It is so egocentric. It is crazy. I never realized there were so many people like that. I have understood since I was a child, wow, everybody, all over the world lives in different environments, and they live different lives, and they have different resources and different concepts, and they do things differently there. Wow. I never would look at somebody and go, "You're doing it wrong because you don't do it like I do it." But a lot of people do, and I guarantee you those people, when they start a new job, especially if it's work they've been doing and they're just going to a new company, I guarantee you they walk in there and do that. They sashay right in there and try to fix everything. Even if they're not in a position to do so, they're still going to try. Like, unless you were specifically hired to come in and change the way things work, unless you were specifically hired to do that, don't do that. I mean, obviously, if you're hired to do it, I guess you have to. But if you weren't, don't do it. Don't do it. Playing with the camera, sorry. I've been learning how to shimmy. I'll tell you about that in a minute, too. I'm like a squirrel. I've had to talk too much today, and I can't seem to turn it off. So don't come in and tell everybody how to do their job. And along that, I think one of the most important things you can do when you start a new job is shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth. You can have unexpressed thoughts. Shut your mouth, open your ears. Listen to people. Pumpkin's under my bed doing something. She's making a noise. Open your ears and listen. Pay attention, because you can learn a lot from your coworkers, your supervisor, whoever. You can learn a lot by just listening. Just listen to them. When they're trying to explain things, don't just go, yeah. Listen to them. Shut your mouth, open your ears, and stay that way. And I've tried to do that in every new job. And keep in mind, don't forget, you're new here. Even if it's work that you've done forever, you are the new kid on the block. They are all sizing you up. Do you want to come across as an asshole right off the bat? If you are an asshole, at least try to hide that for a little bit. Let them get to know you a little bit. Win them over with your personality, even if it's fake. Win them over, and then you can let the real asshole shine through. Give them time to get to know you a little bit. Maybe they will cut you some slack if you come across as an asshole later. If you come across as an asshole right off the bat, they may not say a word to you, but in their mind, they're thinking, "I'm not dealing with this person. I'm not going to deal with this person any more than I have to." And it could hurt your career path or whatever. It could hurt you on the job. It could be a problem if nobody wants to help you or work with you. At the very least, they can make your life harder and more tedious or whatever. So shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. We definitely live in a society where having unexpressed thoughts is an underappreciated talent because of the internet, and I'm doing it right now. I'm not having any unexpressed thoughts. I'm just telling you what I think. But in real life, I don't talk that much. I know it sounds crazy, but in real life, if you were to encounter me in real life, I don't talk much. I don't say much. I have spent most of my life observing other people, and I am now spilling out to you everything I've learned from watching people and listening to people and observing their behaviors. There are some things that you can do in any job, whether you're new or not, that will help you tremendously. And I am speaking to young people, old people, everybody in between. These are skills that are being lost, and I think it's a shame. You don't need any special talents to do these things. Anybody can do them. If you want to be successful in your job, whether you're new or not, here are some things that you need to do. And A lot of people don't do this. Show up on time. Show up to work on time. If you are chronically late, that is your problem and it is your responsibility to fix it. You don't blame it on anybody else. And I used to run into this all the time, driving into work, people tear-assing around me. It was the same cars every morning, just tear-assing around me. And I'm thinking, if you have to drive that damn fast and risk a serious accident on the road, if you have to do that every day, you need to be leaving the house earlier. If you need to be at work at 8 o'clock and it is now 7:59 and you're still 5 miles away from work, that's a you problem. You need to be leaving the house earlier. And if that means you need to get up earlier, get up earlier. Get up earlier. Do stuff the night before, whatever you need to do. I would always lay out my clothes the night before. That was a big help in the morning. I didn't have to think about it. I just put on what was out. And that actually for me saves a lot of time in the mornings. Leave the house earlier. Get your shit together. It is not your employer's fault if you can't get to work on time. They are not causing you to sleep late or whatever it is you're doing. And a lot of people that I've worked with, a lot of people that were just chronically late, like they just could not get there on time. Well, they would not get there on time. And some of them lost their jobs over it. It was so bad, and they were talked to numerous times, and they just didn't bother. They had every excuse in the book for why they couldn't get there on time. Oh, my alarm clock didn't go off. Oh, there was traffic. Leave home earlier. You need to leave home earlier. If you're running into traffic, then that means you're not allowing enough time to get to work, and you need to get your ass out of the house earlier. I'm not trying to be mean. It's tough love. That way you don't have to drive like a bat out of hell to get to work and risk, hurting or killing somebody to get to work. Get out of the house earlier. Get to work on time. Get into work, and when it is time to start work, you start work. You're not sitting there diddling on your phone. When it's time to start work, you work. They are paying you to work. They are not paying you to just dick around. Okay? Put your phone away. Put your phone away. There's nothing wrong, I guess, if you need to leave the ringer on if somebody's going to call you, if you're waiting for a call. I get that. But you should not be sitting there playing on your phone during the school day. I was looking at the Trapper Keepers. It made me think of school. Put your phone up. And my older son has a job, and I've been through all this with him. He's like, Mom, I know. Put your phone up. Mom, I do. He actually has a locker where he could put his stuff, and he leaves his phone in his locker. And he checks it like on his break or whatever. Put the phone away. You have no reason to have that thing out when you're working. They're not paying you to play on your phone. Unless you have a job playing on your phone, which that'd be kind of cool. But put your phone up. Get there on time. Put your phone away. Iron your pants. I don't know why this bothers me. Try to look presentable. If you're getting ready for work and you notice your pants are all wrinkled up or your shirt is wrinkled, take a minute and do something about it. Even if you just throw it in the dryer for a minute with a wet towel or something. You can get an iron at thrift stores for like $3. I see irons at Goodwill all the time for $3 to $5. Get an iron, learn how to use it. It's not hard. I have some ironing videos on my other channel if you want to check them out. I show you how to iron. Anybody can do it. It's not hard. Look presentable. And I'm not saying you have to have expensive clothes. I'm saying go into work looking like a professional, whatever that means. Even if you work in a restaurant, make sure your uniform is not wrinkly. Make sure it's not dirty. Look presentable. Look decent. Don't be somebody that your employer is going to be ashamed for anyone to know you work there. Take pride in your appearance. Brush your hair, whatever you need to do. Again, I'm not saying you have to dress up like you're going to the prom. I'm just saying look presentable. So many people these days don't bother to do anything about their appearance. Don't walk in there looking like you just rolled out of bed. Were you not raised better than that? Sometimes I just want to go up to people and just like pinch their cheeks like, raised any better than that? I'm sorry. I went into, never mind, I'm not going to tell that story. Go in there looking like, and again, you can go to thrift stores and buy your clothes. That's where my clothes came from. That's where this shirt came from. This came from Goodwill. Back when they were still $3.49. I've had this shirt for about 5 years. $3.49 minus my discount. You don't have to spend a lot of money to look nice. You really don't. Yeah, do that. Help your coworkers. Don't worry so much about what's on your job description. Don't sit, and I've worked with people like this. That's not on my job description. I'm not doing that. Be willing to help your coworkers out. Be willing to learn new things on the job. Learning new skills on your job you will never regret. You would be surprised how many things you can learn that could be a springboard to an even better job somewhere else, especially if you're working for a place where they take advantage of you. And that's my other piece of advice. If you're being taken advantage of and you know it, like you're going in there and you're working your ass off and you can't get a raise, you can't get a promotion, you can't ever get anything, and they're just taking advantage of you. Take everything you've learned there, take your experience and your time, and go shopping around for another job. You might find a better place, and it might be a better environment for you. Don't let people take advantage of you, but don't take advantage of them either. If they are paying you to do a job, you need to do your job. You need to show up and do your work until it's time to stop working, and then you can stop. Way too many people are not bothering to teach their children how to work. A lot of young people don't understand what it means to work. It is called work for a reason. And I know there's a lot of focus on finding meaning in your work. That's not always possible. If that's the fact, there would be no ditch diggers. There would be no janitors. I mean, not many people, I think, would find meaning in that. I'm not saying there is none. I've been a janitor myself. I was a janitor at Laney High School for a bit when I was in college. I have scrubbed my toilets, and I have scrubbed toilets and cleaned stuff that's gross because I've remained employed forever. It is not your employer's job to make sure you find meaning in your work. And if you go in there expecting that, you're probably going to be disappointed. I have always been of the opinion that if you can find meaning in your job, that's great. That is not the primary goal of your job. Your job is a way to make money. It's a way to, contribute to the world somehow. It's not about finding the meaning of life, or, if it is, that's great. Sometimes you just have to work. Sometimes you just have to go to work. I've spent most of my life doing that, working in jobs that, honestly, a lot of the times I didn't like the people I worked with, but I did it anyway. I did it anyway for years and years and years. Because I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities as a grown-up. That should be the focus of your job. And if you don't like your job, get some extra training and try to find another job. I don't want to get off into the weeds on this, but it's not your employer's job to bring meaning to your life. That's your job. You can do that in your own time. Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe one day you could work up to having a job that gives your life meaning. Maybe you can. Honestly, I don't think most people ever do. I think most people are not terribly happy with their jobs. It's a paycheck. It's a living. It's a way to pay the bills. And that may be all it ever is. But you have free time, and you can find meaning and purpose and happiness in your life. You don't have to get that from your job. I feel like I'm going around and around, but I understand wanting work-life balance and things like that. I get it. I know. But sometimes you are probably going to go through periods of time in your life where that is just not possible. It's just not. You're going to have to struggle, and it's going to suck. But maybe you can find ways to make it better as you go along. But you're just going to go through rough periods sometimes. Everybody does. Life is not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be stressful as all hell. It may not even be related to your job. You may be having problems like you start getting to my age, your parents are getting older, you're going to have to deal with elderly parents. A whole lot of shit can come up with that. If you have to take care of one or both of your parents, you may have health problems yourself. a whole number of things could come up that could mess up your work-life balance. If you have kids, you're going to have to put a lot of time into them. It's totally worth it, by the way. Yes, having children it's a lot of work, it's a lot of sacrifice. Best thing I ever did, hands down. But it does take your time, and it does take your energy, and it does take your money. Totally worth it, though. You're not always going to have balance in your life. I really don't think you will. And I think that looks different at different points of time in your life. I think after you retire, after you get older, I think the problem there is you have too much life and not enough work. I think work is important. I think having a purpose in life is important. Having meaning in your life is important. Having a reason to get up in the morning is important, no matter what age you are, whether you're young or old. I was just thinking about it on the way to get my hair done. I will never retire. I was thinking about that again. And I work out with this lady, and she is a real inspiration, not just to me, but to lots of people. She is almost 77 years old. This lady is in better shape than I am. She works out 6 days a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And she does that because she said, it gives my life meaning. You know, she's a widow. She said, my kids are grown and gone. They don't live around here. You know, I get lonely, but I can go to exercise classes and see people and talk to people. And she volunteers at a local school. You know, she likes to do community volunteering and, you know, just stuff, you know, around the community. She volunteers her time at several places. That gives her I guess it's kind of like a work-life balance for her, because she still has time to do things that she wants to do, but she also feels that she has things that give her meaning. And you can do that whether you have a job or not. This woman is pushing 80, and she feels that her balance in her life is just about perfect. She's very happy with the way she has her life set up, and she made choices and decisions to build her life in this way, to construct that balance. And she's very happy with it. You have to play with it and tweak it, especially as you get older, because your situation changes as you get older. You can find that balance. It is not your employer's job to provide balance to your life. It's just not. They are trying to run a business. They are not really worried about your personal life. They're never going to be, and in my opinion, that's not their job, because every employee is going to have a different situation. They cannot tailor their business to everyone's needs. It's impossible. So you're never going to be totally happy if you're looking to your employer to give you work-life balance. I love the fact that a lot of people can work from home now. Not everybody can, obviously. I love the fact that I can work from home. I love that. I love it. I can still talk to my coworkers. I don't have to deal with them in person. I kind of like that. And I can get my work done. Yes. Do not walk into a job expecting your job to complete your life and make you happy. Now, I will say, if you work in a place, again, and they're taking advantage of you and they are making your life hell, like they call you constantly to come in and work extra shifts and they won't leave you alone, and you've made it abundantly clear that you have your boundaries, go looking for another job. There are plenty of places out there that will hire you, especially if you're a good employee. You're a valuable commodity right now. If you do all the things I say, you show up on time, you don't call out sick every other day, when you're there, you work and you do a good job and you give them value for the money they're paying you, you are a valuable commodity right now. And you can pretty much go find another job and command a salary, I mean, within limits, but you can do that. I did that. I was able to negotiate a very good salary where I am now because I have a long track record going back over 20 years, showing up on time, busting my ass doing my job, being willing to help with other things in the firm, willing to learn an entirely new department and how to do everything they do. In addition to what I did before, you build on your skills as you go, and you won't believe how it could change your life. I never expected to end up a paralegal. I didn't go to school to be a paralegal. I have 2 college degrees, but they have nothing to do with the law. I have a psych degree and an English degree. I never imagined I would end up doing this. Now, I did get my paralegal certification. The firm I worked for paid for it. They paid for me to get the training and the certification back in 2009, I think it was. It was the year my younger son was born, so it was 2009. They paid for that because I was willing to do more, and the people in that department knew it because I had worked with all of them. And when they needed a new paralegal, they had a meeting and they got together to discuss offering it to someone in the firm. This firm has about 70 staff and about almost 100 attorneys. They sat down to have a meeting, all 10 of them. I heard about this later. And when they said, okay, does anyone have a name of anyone here at the firm that they would like to offer this position to? Simultaneously, every one of them said my name. All 10 of them said my name at the same time. And they offered me the job. And I was very honored. That was really something. Because they knew I'm a fast learner. I'm willing to learn new things. I'm willing to do stuff beyond, because I would do work for them that was not in my job description. But I was willing to do it. If they needed help with some stuff, okay, I don't know how to do it. My motto was, I don't know how to do that right now, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing to learn if you will help me. Oh, absolutely, because they were covered up with work. They had a lot of patent stuff that their paralegals were not able to get to. Their paralegals worked with me to show me how to do some of the basic stuff to get started. And then I started doing more and more. And I ended up being one of them. I ended up being one of these paralegals. I never thought that would happen. And because I had that experience, I went on to another firm and was able to walk in and basically name my salary because I had such a reputation and I had so many glowing reviews from the people I worked with at the old firm. I could basically state my salary. And I'm making even more now at the firm I'm at now because I was able to do the same thing. You can do it, but it is not something you're going to do overnight. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. You are not going to get there by bitching and moaning, and you are not going to get there in a week or two. You're not going to get there in a year or two. You have to be willing to put in the time and the work all along the way, and it will pay off. And if it's not paying off where you are, take your marbles and go to another game. That's what you do. That's what I did. It's a lot of day-to-day grunt work. I started out as the proofreader for the firm with my English degree. And I did a lot of grunt work. I had to proofread lots and lots of shit. None of it was interesting. Law is nowhere near as interesting as they make it look on TV or in the movies. It's really not. Ugh, most of it is very boring. Whew. I drank a lot of caffeine trying to stay awake reading some of that shit. But anyway, wow, I got way off track. I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, starting a new job is stressful. I know, I hear you. I'm in no hurry to do it. I'm taking my life right now day by day as far as my job is concerned. But I will always work. I will always work somewhere. I love having a job. I really do. I like having a reason to get up. And I have somewhere I need to be and something I need to do. And the older lady that I work out with sometimes, she said I'm the same way. I need a reason to get up. I need somewhere to be. And if my volunteer work and the exercise classes, it keeps me active. It keeps me thinking. It keeps my mind going. And it's so good for me. And she's almost 77. She'll be 77 in like a month or something. She's amazing. She's in great shape. She's got like biceps and shit. Like, what? I love her. Oh my gosh. She keeps me going. Like, if I see her coming into class, like I'm slouching into class, and I see her, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I stand up a little taller, like, yes, ma'am, let's go. I love it. Oh, another thing, and this isn't just about a job. It's something I've been catching myself doing. Work on your posture. I've gotten to where I slouch. Work on your posture. Stand up straight. Sit up straight. And one way you can fix your posture in 2 seconds. You don't want to stick your chest out or sway your back. You want to make your body as straight as possible. And a very easy way to do it, just imagine you're trying to take the top of your head and touch the ceiling. This just right up here, the top of your head. Not this, but up here. You're trying to make it touch the ceiling. And if you do that, it will line everything up. from the head down. It will line up your back, your shoulders, everything. Just try to touch the top, try to touch the ceiling with your head, the top of your head. And that will do it. That will. I'm trying to do better about my posture. And I've been taking this dance class. And I've been having trouble the teacher, the instructor of this class she's like my age, but she's been doing dance. She was a cheerleader for many years, and she's been doing dance since she was 3 years old. So she's very good. She's very good at any kind of dance you want to do. She can do it. Very flexible, very graceful. She did ballet for many years, and I don't know, a bunch of different types of dance. Anyway, she does this thing where she can shimmy her shoulders really fast as she's moving. Like she could go down and I can't. I just end up I look like I'm having a seizure. So I've been trying to learn how to do it. She tried to show me one day and I was hopelessly lost. She said, just keep trying. Okay, I'm not built for dance. Okay, I look like an awkward flamingo, but I try. It's just limbs going everywhere. It's like an octopus having a seizure. It's just really sad. But I don't care because it's great exercise, and I think it's good for me. And I always like to try new things and challenge myself. But I found a video on how to shimmy your shoulders, and if I think about it, I'll put it in the description. It's actually very helpful. It's very detailed. And you have to practice. You have to practice. And part of the trick that I've found to it, I haven't gotten to where I can really do it any faster than that. Now, the dance instructor for the class I go to, she can do it twice as fast, and moving and doing other stuff. The trick, according to this video, is taking the shoulder back. It's not about putting it forward. It's about push this one back, which will automatically cause this one to come forward. Then you push this one back, which causes this one to come forward. It's about your shoulder blades. And you don't want you're really just moving your shoulders. You don't want to move your legs or your butt or anything. But I'll try to put a link to the video. Another reason I like dance is because I always have fun. I always enjoy it. I'm trying to learn to shake my shimmy, but I don't think I really have any shimmy to shake. Yes, I love this class because I always have a ball in this class. It's always fun. I just laugh my ass off in this class because I can see myself in the mirror and it's like, holy hell. I don't care though. I don't care. I have fun. So I'll try to put that in the description. That has nothing to do with looking for a job or starting a new job. I just had to tell you about it. I'm always trying to learn new things. I am all about learning new things. And I can't keep my voice from shaking. I like to learn new things, and I think it's very important to continue to learn new things and try new things, no matter how old you are. And that certainly applies when you start a new job. You want to shut your mouth, open your ears, and you can learn a lot. And I think it will help you be a better employee. I think it will help you be happier in your job. It can answer a lot of the questions you may have, so you don't have to keep constantly asking stuff. If you shut your mouth and listen, you might get the answer to your questions. But yeah, starting a new job can be a great opportunity. For a lot of reasons. It can help you grow as a person. It can help with your career. It may help you figure out what you don't want to do. I mean, you might start a job and go, this is not for me. Give it a chance, though. Give it a chance. But try not to be nervous. Take a deep breath and remember, just everybody there was new at some point. I don't care how long they've been there. At some point, they were the new person too. So they know how you feel. They know it's tough. And most people are willing to help you if you ask for help. I don't know if this video was helpful at all. I'm just spitballing here. Now I need to go ahead and get my Trapper Keeper segment done, so then I can head out to Spirit Halloween, because I also have something else I got to do. But yes, that's all I have to say for today. This video is really chaotic. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you have a wonderful day and that I didn't come off as too much of a self-righteous prick. If I did, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm giving you advice that has helped me, and I think it would help you. So I'm not sorry for that. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again soon.